Hello everybody, welcome to Casa de Nerd, here we game. I am the Mad Irishman, and today I'm checking out Captain of Industry. I've played before on the channel, but it just got updated to 4.13, which included a bunch of changes, bug fixes. They added a little bit to the concrete production chain in the form of bricks. They added a new tutorial. So I thought we'd dive in and check that part out. So if you had this on your wish list or had played it before or was still kind of on the fence and you were wanting to see how the new tutorial plays out to see if maybe this might be a little more available to you now, we're going to do that. So let's hop in. New game. They did also add a new island, Insula Mortis. We are not going to start on that. We're going to start on New Haven, which is the standard start. And we're going to do standard difficulty, Captain. And we have the tutorial goals enabled. Let's go. You can see over on the left, it's got a pretty long list of all the stuff that they changed and added. And this, of course, isn't even the full list. But the big changes are right here. The balance changes. You no longer get pops from the world map. They come from the beacon, which is now infinite, just with diminishing returns. Early research is a little easier. We didn't get to check all of it. But this is the new and improved kind of tutorial, I guess you could say. Captain, we found the island we've been searching for. It was not on the map. Our ship took a lot of damage and we'll need major repairs in order to sail again, but we should be safe here. Besides our initial supplies, we are starting from scratch. We should start manufacturing construction parts to be able to build our infrastructure, grow food to feed our people, and find a way to make fuel for our vehicles. The island looks abandoned, but it has plenty of natural resources we can use. There are even some abandoned buildings that we could disassemble for scrap. Also, we should set up a research lab so we can reinvent all the technologies we took for granted for so long. We found about a settlement nearby we can trade with in case we run out of something. They can deliver the goods once we have a trading dock. The entire crew is counting on you after everything we've been through. Good luck. So, it's got... The tutorials have more pictures in them now instead of being more wordy. So this is it's a nice change. I mean, a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? That's the phrase. So I know most of this stuff, but it looks like, you know, some of these may have been updated or added or changed. So yeah, we can copy, we can cut, we can pause, we can... They did add a mass upgrade tool as well, which is something that I was very happy to hear. So, okay. So we're in there. Let's pause just to start. Now, this no longer has electronics in it. It has iron scrap and bricks instead of concrete. So bricks is an intermediate to getting a concrete. And it's supposed to make the early game just a little bit easier. All right, so we're going to start recycling. Oh my god, I have the word fortress in my head, and I keep holding middle mouse button to scroll around instead of WSAD. All right, so let's build a coal maker and connect it to a stack. And we're going to start right over here with that. And we need to connect it to a smokestack. Oh, there we go. Let's start harvesting some tress. We'll start with just this little tiny section here. And then after that, we'll move over to all of this stuff. Because I know eventually this is all going to be houses. This is all going to be farms. So we'll start working towards that. Build a blast furnace and connect it to a metal caster and a smokestack. So pretty standard stuff right off the bat. Blast furnace. We'll drop this guy right there, like so. And then we actually need to connect it to 2 metal casters. Like so. And then, oh, we have to move that up 1 space. Because we have to put a smokestack in here. And then we've got to put molten channels. They also improved this. for making connections to already existing stuff, which is very exciting because that was one of my big gripes with the game originally. Is hacking onto existing piping could be a real bear. Okay, and we have to build a research lab. And I tend to build those over here to start with. No particular reason. So we'll let that go for just a few minutes. We'll see our trucks go back and forth. And tree harvester has no truck assigned. Ooh. I don't know why you're harvesting over here. I selected these trees first. But we'll assign a truck, I guess. Okay. Oh, and it's got the little tutorial that shows up in here by clicking the little hat. That's smart. I like that. Okay. So far, so good on this new tutorial. They're gonna have their hands kind of, I don't want to say tied, but it's gonna be real difficult to come up with a real comprehensive and understandable tutorial. Just because the game is pretty complex. The nature of the game is just such that it's going to be difficult, but I do appreciate them trying. So let's get those two to start. I want us to do basic farming first. Oops, I keep hitting that button thinking it's research. We did construction first, huh? Well, it's not in progress. It's still at 0%. So we'll do what the tutorial says. We'll say let's produce farming. Missing input. Oh, wood. Yeah, because he's over here doing this for some reason. I thought it was supposed to cut them down in order. The order you designate them. That does not appear to be the case. So this is going to be a little annoying. It's going to burn some diesel. But we should have, I mean, we've got 400. It should be fine. But I would like them concentrated near this. We produced our 16 iron. We've produced 4 out of 8 coal. And we're still researching. Oh, it didn't. Okay. I thought I had selected that, but apparently I had not. Okay, so now they're gonna come over here where they should be. Good, excellent, Smithers. All these trucks are just basically hanging out, waiting, and then they'll take this iron scrap, bring it over here to be melted down. Okay. Oh, and you also get rewards for completing objectives, so we get a little bit of diesel. That is a nice incentive to do the tutorial. All right, research construction, that'll come after farming. Waste dumping, build waste collection attached to the settlement. Ah, yes, definitely need to do that. Easy peasy. We got designated dumping zones. We're gonna come over here. And I always like flatten it. Building a little bridge kind of over here to get to the sand really easy. We've produced enough charcoal. Charcoal will fill this for now. Just waiting for that to finish. Oh, and we have to dump waste. Okay. Let's build another research lab. Having 2 of them is good. And we'll come back when some of these things have caught up. Okay, so we got farming researched, and we're moving on to construction. So let's get this farm built, as that popped up once we finished researching basic farming. All right. Man, these farms are always so big. I think what we'll do... I always crowd this far more than I should. Oops. F. F is the button you were looking for, smart guy. There we go. That's the way I want it. So maybe like here? Oops, hit the wrong button. I wanted C. And we'll build 2 of them right off the bat. We don't need them that close together. We want just a wee bit of room between them to run, you know, pipes and stuff like that. So let's do 2 of them just like a so. And that should be good. Let's hit the fast forward button just a little bit here. Let's have a look. We're making charcoal. That's going good. We haven't accumulated any waste to dump. Oh, we've accumulated 1. Hey, so apparently we just... Somebody... Oh, he did dump it. Okay. So he must have waited... It must have got to 20. The truck came and picked up the 20 because he did a full load. And then I happened to look at it as he was driving off with it. So, cool. So we got 40 bricks. Very, very good. We're waiting on a first harvest of potatoes because these are both just gonna go and kind of do their things. We've got enough workers, so that's okay. So we have to research construction and then we have to research a trading dock. So let's set this in the queue. Oh, and the trading dock gives you unit storage. Was that like that before? I think unit storage was... I think it was part of this before, but I don't remember. Okay, but that's fine. So we'll fast forward here. We'll put another pause in and we'll come back when that's all set. All right, so we have research construction. Now they want us to build an assembler. Do that. So let's think about how we want to do this. I always build them too close and then end up overcrowding. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it to start with. We'll set the first one right here. And then we'll go from there. Eventually we'll have multiple ones of these. We'll have warehouses feeding things into them to constantly make the construction parts. And then we'll kind of keep building up this way. We should have room for a third set of farms in here. So maybe we can get 6 farms in this area here. Has no recipe selected. Construction parts. Look at that. Produce 8 construction parts. So yeah, these require these bricks now instead of concrete or concrete blocks. Yeah, because it used to be cement would go into concrete blocks. So this is giving us bricks. So we should have a pretty good supply of bricks for a while. And then we do have a few bricks for rewards in here. And then we finished this. So we produced 8 construction parts. That gives us 40 wood. And it's also popping up, you know, saying, hey, we did all these things. We researched all these things. It should already be researching the dock. I think the next thing we're going to want to do, and it's probably going to tell us, yeah, research power and maintenance. That's what I figured. Maintenance is super duper important. And it has kind of all that stuff in there in that nice little visually laid out tutorial. But we're going to research that in the queue. And we're off. All right, we researched the trading dock. It just finished. Build a trading dock. Where are we going to build a trading dock? We're going to build it. We build it over here. Would like to... Doesn't look like we're going to be able to, so it's going to have to go over here. I always end up moving this thing like a dozen times, but right now it can go over there. And then we'll spend, once this is all built, we'll spend time like filling this out with a bunch of dumping. And that'll be fine. And eventually we'll kind of, you know, dump some here to round this off nicely. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Build a unit storage and assign it wood. this is gonna need wood. So we might as well think about how we're gonna set this up once we get belts, right? So if we're gonna need a unit storage for wood, that might be, yeah, that should be fine. We'll put one here, and then we're gonna end up putting like one here, and then feed the bricks and the iron plates in there. But right now, we'll just follow the tutorial, and we'll see what it tells us to do next. This is gonna be for wood. And we just have to store wood in it. I'm wondering if it's gonna focus all of the wood in here, or if we're gonna be producing it fast enough to split between. Guess we'll find out. Okay, start power production by building a diesel generator, build a maintenance depot, and build a assembly to produce mechanical parts. Now, mechanical parts also cost iron. So what we'll probably do is maybe right here. We'll say that this is going to produce mechanical parts. And then what we can do is we can say, you know, this unit storage will be bricks. This one will be iron. And they'll all feed in. I have created these backwards. Just realized what I did. The inputs are up here. The output is over here. So we'll have to knock it down and rebuild it. But that'll be fine. That'll be fine. Right now, it doesn't matter. We don't have belts. We did build the trading dock. It's down here. So in case we need to trade for bricks, concrete slabs, iron, whatever. We could trade construction parts for potatoes if we had to. We can trade 30 diesel for 40 coal, or 40 coal for 20 diesel. Interesting. Okay. We do need a maintenance depot. And this is gonna feed in from here. So let's put this guy right here. And that way we can feed parts into it. Yeah, so far not storing any wood. Oh, this guy, does he not have anything to chop anymore? He doesn't. That would explain why. Alright. So we'll see if they fill this up. Because I can't imagine this is going to need... Oh, I guess it does use quite a bit of coal. But it's slowing down because the molten iron doesn't have anywhere to go, because these are full of iron plates that we aren't using. So chopping down trees should result in some of this wood going in here. Although we do have wood. Oh, we don't anymore. Interesting. We could try to keep this empty, but it looks like they've already grabbed the wood out of here and used it for other things. So let's try this. Keep full. Try to keep, you know, 36 in here. 54. We'll say keep 54 in here just to satisfy that requirement. They're building that. There should be oil in this area somewhere, so I'll build the diesel generator kind of over here, since this is where we're going to process diesel anyway. We'll drop that guy right there for right now. Can't do maintenance just yet because we don't have power. We are going to need electronics to build maintenance parts, which we don't have because they changed this to not include electronics anymore. We do have 90 in the shipyard. Hey, we got our harvest of potatoes, so we can collect more potatoes. Delicious. Be able to feed our people for 55 months. So we just have to produce maintenance, which we have power now, so they'll drag the spare diesel we have up here to the generator, which powers this, which allows it to produce maintenance, which will drive this number here up. All your trucks start over maintenanced by like 400 or 500%, just to give you time to get them going. You can see this guy's at 254%, but eventually this will start dropping down, and if your maintenance gets low, your trucks will break down and stuff. So we want to keep this at 100% at all times. So we did the maintenance thing, which gave us electronics and construction parts. Very nice. We do have 40 wood in the storage now, so we can say, yeah, go ahead and use that for whatever you need to. Purchase bricks for wood. Oh, so this is teaching us how to use this, basically. So let's trade. Bricks for wood, right? So it costs half a unity point, which we're making 1.5 a month. We've got 36. We are good. So we have done the thing, which gives us 40 bricks and 40 more construction parts, and it's another part of the tutorial done. We're not doing any research. Is it telling us to do more research? Research the beacon. And then it also popped up, hey, this is population in Unity. This is all the various ways to use Unity. Unity's great. You're going to want to have a lot of it. So any way you can get this number higher is a good thing. Okay, so we got to do some research. And next it was telling us to do the beacon. So let's do the beacon. That's going to be the key to getting more workers, which we need. We're down to 17. We're not going to be able to build a lot more because we're not going to have the workers to do everything they need to do. And then after that, we need to research vehicles and mining. Okay, build a unit storage for iron and a unit storage for construction parts. So the unit storage for construction parts can go up here. And the unit storage for iron, we're going to space this out. So I want bricks there, and I want iron there. Like that. Because they're all going to have to feed into this guy. And that way I can pretty easily draw my belts, even though I built this backwards. You know, because I'm an idiot. But you got to come to expect these things from me on this channel. It's just Uncle Dum Dum does dumb things all the time, and you shouldn't be surprised by this fact. Construction parts. There we go. So we gotta store iron in here, obviously, which they should do because this thing was full of iron. We didn't have anything to do with it. We're gonna fill this guy with bricks. Should be filling with construction parts very, very shortly. All we have to do is basically have a truck move this over, which it looks like they're doing right there. Look at that. So we get 20 more wood, 20 more electronics. So we're researching the beacon. And then after that, we have to do vehicles and mining. So we'll be back in just a minute when this is complete, and we'll check in with it then. All right, we just finished the beacon. So we got to build it, and we have to build another housing. So let's do both of those things. I always put the beacon right next to the thing here. We'll do that, and then housing. We need housing. Which where if I was a house, where would I live? Probably in housing. There we go. Those do take a lot of construction parts to build. 80, as a matter of fact. So it's pretty expensive. And we don't have that many left. So this is going to take a little bit. So we're going to be dependent on this just running. So one of the things we can do to speed that along, we can give it a Unity boost. So 0.25 a month, and it'll go at, is it double or 50% more? It's not insignificant, we'll put it that way. So this will run faster and it'll use more resources, but it'll produce more per cycle. So that'll be AO good. And look at that. We got caught up. We must have had a few more in storage ready to go. So we'll turn this off and say, okay, so it is double. Is everything doubled across the board? What are we at for max unity? Okay, 44. The more of these we build, the more we'll be able to hold. So 0.3 is pretty low, actually. Oh, it's because the beacon's running. Beacon takes 1 worker, and it'll burn 1 unity per month. And then every time this runs, you know, we're getting 14 in less than 4 months. And the next time it might be 6 months, 8 months, or it might be 12 instead of 14. So eventually we'll get some diminishing returns on it, but that's okay. So let's collect that, get that food. And we should be researching vehicles next. And then after that is going to be diesel. And we're at about 27.5 minutes. So we're going to call it here. Hey, look, new refugees. We just got some. And they always bring stuff with them. Diesel, copper, rubber, iron scrap. All stuff we're going to need. So hooray indeed. Yeah, so this has been Captain of Industry on the new 4.13 release. Just came out this month. A couple days ago. I like the new tutorial system so far. And I like that it doesn't just tell you to do this stuff. It links to, you know, the kind of tutorial center, like here's why this is important. They included more pictures, less reading, you know, because people are, you know, maybe they're lazy, maybe they're tired, whatever the case. But again, a picture speaks 1,000 words. So if you can just put a screenshot in that shows everything you're trying to say, instead of text, I think it's going to be better for a lot of people involved. I haven't gleaned enough yet about how the production chain changes with bricks, so I can't comment on that, but it seems like everything else they did was a very positive improvement over the way it was before. It does bear noting that this is a very small team of people working on this at MiFi Games. MaFi, M-A-F-I games, and they really do have something special going here. So definitely, if you're into these types of games, production chain, factory, you know, simulation type games, definitely give this a check. It's definitely worth the price point, I think. So yeah, I'll keep recording some of these just to see how far I can get before I inevitably blow myself up. But if you like what you saw and you haven't already, feel free to hit that follow button, or the subscribe button rather. I'm still on YouTube. Good God. It don't cost you nothing. And also feel free to like and comment as you see fit. I would appreciate it, and I hope to see you in the next video.